Live from New York.
Live from New York.
Live from New York.
First, live from New York. It's the show that's apologizing for missing your call.
The show that just is dealing with the data that's in front of us.
No, you're not.
That's it. It's a show that loves sports. Okay?
We came to talk sports.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
We're not a soap opera.
The show that's preparing you for one of the most ridiculous 20 minutes that we've ever done and you've ever seen. It's the first hour of First Things First.
First Things First, the gift that keeps giving. First Things First is the best sports talk show on the Fox Sports Network. I'd argue the best on all of television. This show features 3 hosts.
Everyone knows that.
You're the funny guy, Nick's mean. I give the cogent analysis.
Not exactly. Chris Broussard is the elder statesman of the show. Often the
Smartest in the room, that man
has given us consistent and cogent analysis since
Nick Wright was in grade school sleeping in Pokemon pajamas.
Nick Wright.
Annoying,
Annoyingly good.
irritating, seemingly flawed, but deep down, you know it. The best.
The mean one. Annoying, arrogant, and mathematically savvy. To give him some credit, Nick actually gives the most interesting takes on the show in my opinion. He is kind of the glue that holds the show together. And finally, Kevin Wildes.
It's our first show of 2023.
Yeah.
And do you know what my New Year's resolution was for this year?
I mean, I could only read more Basketball Reference.
National treasure and leader of the show. He is the fan favorite, and all of his hilarious antics, bits, and intros are really what takes this show over the top. In certain ways, you could argue he is the show.
You're the show.
Exactly.
That shows
What's
you
that
what
what
his
he
mentality
means?
is.
It's subconsciously
I'm the show.
He's saying, well, I
That's
believe
what you
it,
think.
and I'm the show.
I'm the show.
Therefore, it's the show that
That's a
believes.
step above
He's
leader
mad.
of the show.
He's mad.
Live from the show.
These guys bounce effortlessly off of one another with witty banter through a variety of sports topics. They have this perfect chemistry with one another that leads to countless hilarious interactions, gags, and scenarios. The amount of fun that is had on this show is unmatched, and this can be felt by any viewer. The best sports talk show on television and the internet has a YouTube channel that has recently surpassed 1 million subscribers. This makes me so happy. Seeing the YouTube channel of a show that I adore hit such an incredible milestone makes me feel so proud for them and delighted to be a part of their fan base. To commemorate this milestone and accomplishment, I wanted to take a look back to this show's best segments, running gags, and bits. Any fan of this show will know there are too many to count. I will find the first iteration of each of them and give a brief explanation of them in what I'm calling the First Things First official glossary. Before we get into the glossary, I want to quickly examine the history of First Things First. Before the show looked like this, it looked like this. The show started on the Fox Sports 1 network in early September of 2017, premiering with Jenna Wolfe as the moderator and Nick Wright and Chris Carter as co-hosts and analysts. Jenna. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. I always really liked Jenna and thought she fit in well with them. But that's a thing of the past. We're in a new era now. Okay, so back when it was these 3 hosts, the show was called First Things First with Chris Carter and Nick Wright. And the show ran like this for a couple years before Chris Carter resigned in 2019. He was replaced with Kevin Wildes in 2020. Later, in 2021, Chris Broussard, who had frequently been a guest and was already a prominent sports media figure, was named as an official host to join the crew. Okay, so before Brew was on, this NFL player named Brandon Marshall was part of the crew for a while. But any longtime First Things First fan is doing their best to wipe this from their memory, so I'm not going to harp on that.
The argument for KD is what versus Giannis? Giannis has been more available.
That he's
Giannis
the best
has
player.
been healthier.
That he's the best player.
But I'm just curious based on
He's
what?
the best player.
What does KD do better than Giannis other than shoot the basketball? I'm just curious.
He shoots better than him. He shoots better than him. He dribbles better than him. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I would love to hear a third.
Look,
Yes.
I don't.
Jenna left the show in August of 2022, and in September of 2022, the show got a new time slot. Waltz took over Jenna's moderating position, and the rest was history. These changes did a lot to perfect the formula that First Things First has today. The show now feels entirely different compared to its inception. The energy, camaraderie, and creativity have peaked during the last 2.5 years of its broadcast. I will be focusing on this era of the show, as I think this is the renaissance of First Things First. If Wilds used his vibes radar to check the vibes in the studio during this period, he'd say,
Vibes are sky high. I'll be honest with you. They're high.
okay, with all that background info out of the way, without further ado, it is now officially time for the First Things First official glossary. Yes, I'm using the same title animation, shut up. What better way to start the glossary off than with the Bud list?
The Bud list.
It's the Bud list.
The Bud list, Broussard's under duress list.
Any longtime First Things First fan is familiar with the Bud list. This is one of the most distinct and recognizable segments that the show has. The Bud in Bud list stands for Broussard's under duress list. And this list and segment are the most motivational in all of sports media. It's a weekly list in which Brew highlights 3 professional athletes, coaches, or members of sports media who are in a position where they are under duress and need some motivation. During this segment, Nick, Wilds, and whoever happens to be a guest on the show that day also add a member of the sports world to the list. The first iteration of this segment during what I have deemed the renaissance of First Thing First is a video called Baker Mayfield Trey Lance headline Broussard's Bud List entering week 1. And it is the first video in the Bud List playlist on their channel. Quick aside, saying Broussard's Bud List is kind of redundant. It's like saying ATM machine or PIN number. It's all good though, they figured this out eventually. This installment of the Bud List begins with a classic introduction from Wilds.
Illustrious return of the Bud list. These aren't people that are a little bit stressed out. This aren't people who are feeling it a little bit. This is the definitive list of people who are under duress, according to Broussard. BUD Bud list. Take it away, my friend.
That Wilds, what a guy. Is there anybody in all of sports media who's better at introducing a segment? Anyway, Brew's additions are typically motivational, and he stresses that this list is meant to serve as a form of motivation.
You guys know the Bud list is not about putting pressure on folks. It is about motivation. Yeah. These are guys I believe in. It's all about inspiration and motivation. It's not about ripping guys.
But while he would never admit it, sometimes Brew adds athletes as an indictment.
James Dolan.
Oh boy.
You have turned what was the greatest season in 25 years into an embarrassment. An embarrassment. So here's what you got to do. I'm going to save the day for you guys. Get out of the way. Move. Get out the way. Now, James, good luck.
That wasn't very motivational.
Aaron Rodgers.
How about that?
Man, just retire. Gee whiz. Just retire. And Aaron, I'm just kind of sick of the whole thing.
Wow. Wow, that wasn't very motivating.
All right.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Nick. A signature running gag of this segment are the letters that Wilds reads as a part of his introduction. For the year 22 and on, they get an odd amount of letters. But who am I to judge? These letters started in the video Devontae Adams, winless Raiders headline the Bud List entering week 4.
To the show, it is time for the Bud list. And before we get to it, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. Wow. We get a lot of letters on the show, an odd amount of letters for the year 2022.
One in your hand right
yes,
now?
this is one in my hand. So I just want to I thought it would be a good to read it on air,
please.
To say we do get your letters, and we are willing to address them.
Okay.
The letter is from concerned viewer. Dear Wilds, love the show. Can you please set the record straight? Is the Bud List an indictment or an inspiration? I don't know how many times we have to go over this.
Thank you, Wilds. I'll answer that. It is an inspiration.
All right, you know where this is going. This is from so long ago that they don't even have the letter reading music yet. The letter reading music started in the video LeBron, Josh Allen, and Raiders are under duress according to the latest Bud List.
A lot of times they're about the Bud List, to be 100% honest with you. So see what this one says. It's 100% in there. Trust me.
well,
I checked it. Okay.
Oh, there's music?
Yeah, Dear Wilds. Oh, it's a little bit different this time. I'm training to run a marathon, and to motivate myself, I put myself on my own homemade Bud List. Problem is, today, when I laced him up, his sneakers, I think he's talking about for a run, I realized I was actually under duress. And it feels like no one believes in me.
Oh.
Please advise Brian.
Brian. Being under duress, particularly this Bud List, is a good thing.
Okay, you know where this is going. This is random, but Nick's little car engine wheezing laugh is always hilarious to me.
And please advise Brian.
Brian. Being
Or go out. I prefer to stay.
Because I got to be honest,
Let's fly.
I do have a little bit of a belly. I mean, I got to be honest, all right? Who am I fooling?
And
I got to be honest, all right?
At first, these letters were used to highlight the fact that, wait, if I'm going to be talking about the letters, I need the letter reading music. Okay, that's better. At first, these letters were used to highlight the fact that the Bud List isn't an indictment, but an inspiration for anyone on them, until one fateful family changed the course of history for the list.
Dear Wilds, happy holidays. Love the show. My children are driving me mad and making me say bah humbug to the holiday season. Brian, age 7, says the Bud List is an inspiration, while Ryan, his twin brother, says it's an indictment. Can you please clarify? Happy holidays, Dawn.
Dawn?
Yeah, Dawn.
Dawn, happy holidays to you. It is an inspiration, my man.
Cool. You know where this is going. Don, Ryan, and Brian. A family with members that are all huge fans of the show. Maybe the second biggest fans overall. Second to me, of course. We are introduced to this family, well, at least to their letters, in the video Bills QB Josh Allen headlines Broussard's under duress list in week 14, which you just watched. And they have become a staple of the Bud List segment. I'm sure you're wondering why I am showing stock footage of random families. It's because we never actually get to see Don, Ryan, or Brian. So I'm just showing you various examples of what they could look like. I personally like to imagine that they are a Middle Eastern family. Why, you ask? Because I like Middle Eastern people. What's it matter to you? And stop asking so many questions. Anyway, we hear from them again in Tua, Baker Mayfield, and AD are under duress according to the latest Bud List.
It's time for America's most motivating segment, the Bud List. And you know what? For the year 2022, we sure do get a lot of physical mail. People write us, and as always, we're willing to address your concerns and comments. So here's today's.
Oh, more letter writing music.
I love the music.
Dear Wilds, love the show. Don here, Dawn's husband.
Oh.
Looking for a Christmas present for Ryan and Brian. Is there any way I can put being under duress under our tree? Oh. I said, you know what? Don, we got something for you.
Wow.
It is
I love it.
the Bud List Cole edition. Just for the holiday season.
I love it.
Can we
You
zoom
can
in on
be
this?
under duress, yeah. It's an inspiration, it's an indictment. It's available in stores nationwide.
I like it.
We're gonna send one your way. Take it away, Brew.
Wow. That's hard to follow. I got to be honest. Outstanding, Wilds. And thank you, Don and Dawn.
And this prompts Wilds, the innovator that he is, to initiate the prop phase of the Bud List. For the next several Bud List introductions, Wilds kicks things off by displaying a prop or a funny graphic. Wilds really gets in his bag with some of these. They are iconic and have given us some of the show's most memorable running gags, one of which I will be discussing at length soon. You could probably guess what it is. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed what you saw so far. This is some of the progress that I've made on the video. I must admit, this video is proving to be a lot more work than I anticipated. And I anticipated it being a lot of work. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this sort of glossary up into several parts. So, for example, the part you just watched mainly focused on the Bud List. And it isn't complete. There's still more sort of Bud List running bits and gags and content for me to add to it. But I could also make a part specifically about Mahomes Mountain. I could make a part about Upset Alert and so on and so forth. The video obviously isn't done, but I felt like I've kept y'all waiting long enough, and I didn't want y'all to be waiting forever. It's been like a month, probably longer, since I've uploaded that first part. I figured I was long overdue to upload something else. So here is something else. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. I've worked pretty hard on it. Please feel free to leave any feedback that you got, good or bad, right? The compliments and the criticism, they both go a long way. It does factor into how I proceed going forward. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. And I want to encourage you, I want to continue to encourage you to stay tuned. There's a lot more to come, I promise.